Even before starting college, I wanted to be a business manager. You know, I wanted to work in the business world. I wanted to own my own business, maybe multiple businesses. I like investing in real estate. I've always kind of felt that way, you know, I would be a good businessman, and that's how I chose a business degree. My name is Reuben. I'm the office manager here at Automotive in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I graduated in 2010 at Lewis Clark State College with a BA in management and a minor in Spanish and a minor in marketing. I'm the first generation to graduate. We need an in-depth safety inspection on it. Growing up here in Coeur d'Alene, I've always worked around cars with my dad, and I kind of always wanted to, you know, work in the automotive industry. And my parents have had this business for a while, and I just kind of grew up around it and figured I'd take it over in the future. My parents started this business in 1994. We buy and sell cars, we service and repair cars. We do a lot of fleet accounts.
So who do you have checking this one out?
Dave's working on it. We have 7 employees. 4 of them are mechanics. My daddy's the owner. He kind of does a little bit of everything. I am the office manager. I control the workflow of the shop. I do a little service writing to help Adam out when it gets busy. The biggest aspect of my job is the bookkeeping side of the business. I do all the bookkeeping. I do all the payroll. When I first started here, I knew nothing of QuickBooks, and I had to learn all that through my mom. And in college, you don't really learn that unless you take a QuickBooks class. So that's one thing that you don't really learn until you get in the business world. And QuickBooks is super important for us here at the shop. The revenue comes from the repairs on the cars and the sales of the vehicles. A lot of our expenses are parts that we buy for the cars and paying the mechanics and the shop mortgage and paying a lot of the utilities. There's a lot of expenses that come into play there. In small business, you know, every dollar counts, and we gotta really watch on what we spend on and how we keep track of our money.
About $640.
Okay.
Every month we like to do a little printout and find out, you know, how we looked that month and what we need to do differently for next month and compare them year by year too. We look at the profit and loss and we look at accounts receivable. It's really important to keep on top of customers that are owing money. And then profit and loss, we need to look at what we're spending our money on, where we're getting an income at, and make sure we're staying on top of that too.
Oh, perfect. Can you pull it out?
Yeah.
Thank you. We were able to withstand the recession, but it's just, you know, we had to cut down on our employees just because we didn't have as much work coming through the doors. But it's starting to pick back up, and we've hired 2 more employees recently, and it's starting to get a little busier for us. We have a dealer service corporation that we use to buy vehicles. We could buy it at the auction, and they finance it until we sell it. We try not to use that line of credit much. We try to buy cars with cash. I guess during the recession we used the dealer service corporation to buy and finance cars. You know, we didn't like using it, but it was one way to create income with borrowed money. Right now in the business, we're working on getting out of debt. Our debt that we have is from when we started the shop. You know, we bought a lot of equipment, and now we're working on getting out of debt and being debt free, and working on building our inventory up so we get more car sales and generate more revenue here. When it comes to inventory control, you know, it's super important. We keep a sheet on all the cars that we have. We have cars at this lot and cars at my brother's lot, so we gotta make sure we know what's over there, what's here, how much we're into each car. When it comes to parts, we don't stockpile too many parts just because there's too many different vehicles that we work on. So we buy our inventory on parts from different part suppliers. In business, it's super easy to spend money. You know, it's really easy to throw money towards advertising or throw money towards upgrades on the shop. And one thing I learned in college, you know, Casey Wilhelm taught in marketing, is you can't always throw money at a marketing project. You know, you gotta find out what is going to be the most efficient way to market your business. You know, free advertising is the best way to do it, you know, or mailings that you can mail to a customer and get, you know, their response through mailings, or even calling a customer. You know, it doesn't cost much money, it just costs time.
I know.
We've sponsored a softball team at Automotive. It doesn't cost too much to do, but it gets our name out there, and a lot of the players on the team are customers here. And that's one thing in college, you know, you don't really think about before, is, you know, how you manage your money and how you invest through advertising or upgrades on the business.
What's going on with it? Is it not blowing cold?
It's not blowing cold at all.
With the 80-20 rule, the 80% of our business is from 20% of our customers. It has to do with our fleet management. We do a lot of fleet work, and so we want to target the fleet companies like Time Warner and the law enforcement and Kootenai Medical Center and American Red Cross. In college, you learn about the SWOT analysis and strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And that's one thing I did when I first came here. I wanted to find the strengths of the business and the weaknesses. At Automotive, we have a really good customer base. We are pretty strong as far as that goes, and we have a good employees here and good amount of tools. And the weaknesses, there's always change in the in the automotive industry. All different kinds of upgrades you need to do with specialty tools and different scanners. And the opportunities, there's always room for growth. The threats, there's always more competitors coming onto the market, and different things as far as the automotive industry that can change, that can start, lowering the reliance on automotive mechanics. Long-term planning, we're looking at building up the shop, getting more mechanics here and more customer base coming in. My dad's gonna start retiring. I'm gonna start taking over the business, and we hope to grow this business to have more employees and more vehicles coming through the doors, and eventually a tire repair facility and maybe a car lot just for outside automotive vehicles.